Hello and welcome to On the Record with me, Shereen Bhan. Vedanta is gearing up for a demerger that will create 4 independent entities with a focus on aluminium, oil and gas, power, iron and steel and base metals. Vedanta's shareholders as well as creditors have already approved the plan, and the demerger process could be completed by the first quarter of the next fiscal. Chairman Anil Agarwal, in a letter to investors, said that each of the new companies has the potential to grow into a $100 billion company. He also compared Vedanta to a banyan tree while advocating for the demerger. He said, and I quote, "I've always found the trees that grow under the shade of a giant banyan tree often find it difficult to grow, but once you take them out and allow them to grow under the sun, they show remarkable growth and progress." End of quote. Chairman Anil Agarwal joins me now on the record. Mr. Agarwal, always a pleasure. Many thanks for joining us here on the program. So let me start by using your analogy of the banyan tree. As you go about this demerger process, Mr. Agarwal, do you believe that each of these businesses has strong enough roots to exist outside of the shade of the big banyan tree?
Absolutely, because if you see all our business, whether you talk oil and gas, tremendous potential in India, and we have a best anchorage. If you look at the aluminium, we completing 30 lakhs ton production, adding 30 lakhs ton more, huge potential. Zinc, if you look at zinc, which will be part of our main company, we are producing 1.2 million ton, going to produce 3 million ton. Copper is such an important metal. We are going to produce almost 500,000 ton copper. The growth on this, any country which developing to developed country goes, it all goes fundamental. We have seen is all about below the ground. Below the ground, we have a tremendous geology. I always say that. And today, the way the government is working on below the ground, because we need it, this is a transition material. To create the world better, you need this metal. Without this, world can't work, especially India. India is a developing country. So we are very excited about this growth and making these 4 companies separate, making a very professional management. They will take this company forward at a different level.
Well, speaking about taking these companies forward, sir, let me break up each of these businesses, and let's start by talking about the aluminum business, because that is a lion's share as far as your EBITDA is concerned. You talked about adding 30 lakh tons. By when do we expect this capacity expansion to take place? What's the time period? If you can share that with us. And also, in terms of growing the EBITDA, Q3 EBITDA was at 4,540 crores out of the total Q3 EBITDA of 11,280 crores. That was the contribution of the aluminum division. What can this be potentially post the kind of expansion you spoke to us about?
Yeah, I think each of our business will have the same level of EBITDA. We work on around 35% margin. All our product is about 35% margin. As far as the aluminum is concerned, all these products, what you talk about demerge, there is a growth of double digit, 15 to 16% growth on all our product. It's very difficult to set up these industries, require a heavy investment, require huge technology, and it's not easy. So we are creating another 30 lakhs ton of aluminum production. We have acquired one of the largest bauxite mine, very high grade in Odisha. We are almost finalized the location to start. We are putting this with the renewable energy. This will be the first kind of aluminum production with green metal, complete green metal. Very exciting. The biggest part is with all this aluminum being used by SMEs, medium and small scale industry, they'll be making the wagon for the railway, bus for the transport, car needs 30 product of aluminium, transmission, anything you talk about, foil for air defense, anything you talk about, India has not even touched a couple of percentage. It's going to be 50% consumption of this metal. What I'm looking at least 500-600 industry will be mushrooming with the support of aluminium.
You know, Ms. Agarwal, there's a fair degree of interest as well as what could the potential cost of production be and whether we can see a potential reduction there as far as the cost of production goes, especially when we talk about the backward integration measures as well. So what could the potential reduction be as far as the cost of production goes?
We are looking at $400, $400 for the raw material, $400 for the power, and $400 for the processing. So it will be lowest quartile in the world as far as the cost is concerned.
Okay. What about the global environment today, Mr. Agarwal, and how that's likely to impact commodity markets, specifically things like aluminum and steel? We have, of course, seen an escalation as far as the tariff war is concerned. President Trump imposing tariffs, other countries retaliating with reciprocal tariffs. What does all of this mean now for commodity markets? How are you reading the developments?
We are watching, but we have a less impact, because we are domestic player. Our Indian consumption is so high. In any case, aluminum, US need. Aluminum does not produce basic aluminum. So they purchase a lot of aluminum alloy. And we are developing those alloys, and those alloys will be very important for them. So we are definitely watching. It is impacting to everybody. But as far as Vedanta is concerned, whether it's oil and gas, whether it's a zinc, whether it's a copper, whether it's a aluminum, we are worried about as a overall what will happen. But Vedanta will be less impacted.
Less impacted, you believe? We've also seen the DGTR, sir, recommend the imposition of a safeguard duty to the tune of 12.5%. That, of course, has to be ratified by the Finance Ministry. So there is still a wait and watch there. But what do you make of that? And do you believe that this is warranted at this point in time? And is this enough?
I think this is enough. Government is working very, very hard to make sure industry run well, and those days has gone where government used to take long time to take decision. Now government is absolutely there, and to make sure the government, the business, because we are heading towards $5 trillion economy, and we cannot take any chance to reduce the production, slow down the production. It is very, very important for us.
Yes, that certainly is the case. I also want to understand from you, as far as prices are concerned, if you can give us a forecast or an assessment or an estimate of where you believe prices are going to be across the board for each of these commodities that we just spoke of, whether it's aluminum, copper or zinc.
I mean, there is a short supply, huge demand. The warehouses are empty, and everybody is looking at. We have never seen premium on the aluminum what we see today. Highest premium in the zinc is the highest premium. Or gas. Can you believe that gas in India you can sell at $10? And same thing on the oil. So it is a time. It shows that how much is the consumption is increasing in India of this metal. So prices.
That's a big.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's a big statement, Mr. Agarwal. You're saying you've never seen the kind of premiums that you're seeing, whether it's aluminum, zinc or gas.
Absolutely. This shows the growth in India, the consumption pattern in India. Of course, it has American, what they are doing on the duty, it also has an impact. but the consumption in India of this metal are growing like anything, 10, all double digit.
All double-digit growth is what you anticipate. Let's talk about debt as well, Mr. Agarwal, and your plans as far as deleveraging at the parent level was concerned. You've been able to deleverage to the tune of about $1 billion. The average cost of debt is about 11% versus over 13% at the start of the year. If you can lay out for us what the debt reduction plan is from here on.
I think we are the lowest debt in terms of our peer group is concerned. You know, that total debt, if you look at, we are the parents about $4.5 billion, down the line about another $4 billion. So about $8 billion against this year, we are going to have close to $6 billion EBITDA. And in another 15 days, we'll be declaring that it's hardly any debt if you compare anything, but we have a full plan that we'll be completely reducing our debt on the parent company in 3 to 4 years' time.
If you can add a little bit more clarity on that debt reduction plan at the parent level over the next 2 to 3 years, you believe that you're very comfortably placed today, but if you can draw out the roadmap for us with a little bit more detail.
So in this year, 25, we are going to reduce $1 billion debt. 26, we are going to reduce another $1 billion debt. And 27, we are going to reduce $1.5 billion debt.
Okay, so $1 billion of debt reduction in 26 and $1.5 billion in 27. That's the plan at this point in time. What could be the potential risks at this point at all? You talked about demand surging, and that's of course the silver lining, but what could be the potential risks, Mr. Agarwal, that you're mindful of?
I have no risk in it. We have so much of, as I said, we work on 35% margin, at least all our business, and very few companies can have this kind of cash. The kind of debt, kind of dividend we give, the kind of appreciation what we have, kind of product we have, which have hardly any competition. It is a paying off this debt is a very, very comfortable, and we've been paying. We never have been defaulted ever last 30 years, and we are very comfortable with this. And this kind of debt, any company you look at peers, you have to have this kind of debt, which is comfortable.
Let me also ask you now, as far you feel comfortable as far as the debt reduction plans are concerned, I also want to understand from you about the timelines now for the closure as far as the demerger process itself is concerned. The earlier target was Q4 of FY25. That's now gotten pushed to Q1 of FY26. Do you feel confident of being able to close things?
You know, I've seen the kind of maturity has come because how the world has grown with M&A. The kind of thousands of resolutions have been passed by NCLT, the way the government is supporting the judiciary, the regulator, everything is very well the kind they're moving, because this is very, very important. Time is the essence. So can you ever believe that is unprecedented? 99.5% creditors and the shareholder has supported this. So now it is NCLT will take a hearing. I can't give you exact date, but what we see in the pattern into 4 to 6 weeks time, normally NCLT taking the time in general, whatever M&As is happening. So we should believe that it should happen in that time.
Okay,
So
well, speaking of...
go ahead.
Yes, you were saying, Mr. Agarwal.
Yeah, what I'm saying, see the advantage of the shareholder. This is a company for two people. One is the government and the shareholder. Government, the kind of revenue we have, I'll give you some figure. In last 10 years, we have given exchequer 5 lakh crore to the government. If you see the shareholder, how they created their value, in just 1 year time, they created 4 times value. And when this share as become a 5 company, each company has a huge potential to grow.
Right.
And we have broken the debt and see the growth pattern. I think the government will be benefited. They are partner in all our business, around 25%. All our business partners, whether it is oil and gas, whether it is aluminium, anything you talk about, government is, whether it is a zinc, and government is a partner. They are the biggest beneficiary for us. 5 lakh crore has been paid to them. Going forward, I have a feeling the kind of revenue will be generated. This is the company which will have thousands of SMEs, which is the dream of our Prime Minister, will come in. This is the transition material. Without transition material, world can't move. The transition material is the one which is very important for the low carbon.
Yes. Yes, that certainly is significant as far as a lot of the consuming industries are concerned. But Mr. Agarwal, you were talking about M&A. Let me ask you if there are any plans to offload any assets, sell any assets at this point in time. Anything that's likely on the anvil at all?
No, steel was not our core business. Iron ore was very our core business. We are producing 1 million ton. We have a ESL, which is one of the best location and best company possible. It can comfortably produce 15 million ton of steel, or that also electrical steel, special steel. If we get our price, we will definitely consider. But as it is, the company is doing extremely well, and they are making cash profit. And we are very comfortable, but definitely I would like to put that effort to my other business. If we get a right price, we might sell. At this point of time, that is our position.
If you get the right price, you may sell the steel business. That's the plan at this point in time. Mr. Agarwal, very quickly, if you can run us through what the aspiration now is as far as Hindustan Zinc is concerned, and given the fact that you're unlocking value at this point in time, whether you're looking at all at the possibility of unlocking value separately for silver.
Beautiful. No, if you look at the group umbrella, it's difficult for me to keep telling you what all we have. Silver was never been produced in India. We started producing. How difficult it could be. We'll be the largest producer of silver in the world. We'll be the largest producer of zinc in the world. We have a manganese mine. We are going to produce 1 million ton of manganese. Only other company produces is a government company. It is so important for the defense, for stainless steel. These all are critical metal. Today, I really appreciate the way the government has gone and opened up this critical metal. Critical metal, transition metal is a time for them to come up, to open up. I have always said 2 things. In India, very, very important is drill, baby, drill, dig, baby, dig. That's what our whole world is saying. If you look at the President Trump, or you look at Trump, and I was the one last 25 years, consistently, I have not changed my business. I always remain one business which is below the ground. I have never gone into the consuming business, never gone for here and there, always remain anything below the ground because I knew I'm really looking at nationalist. How can I look at any country become a developed country only because whether it's America, whether it's Australia, whether it's the Middle East, whether it's Europe, only because they address the below the ground. Today, if you look at all Indian people are starting all over the world. The time has come that below the ground, what Dharti Mata हमने हमको दिया है, उसको हम बाहर निकालें, लोगों को बताएं कि हमारे पास खजाना है, सोना है, चांदी है, फर्टिलाइजर है, कोल कहीं जाने वाला नहीं है। हमने शुरू से कहा है कोल इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। हम लोग उसको वी हैव टू मेक सस्टेनेबल इज अ वर्ड, एंड टुडे टेक्नोलॉजी हैज कम वेयर यू कैन सस्टेन, keep our water, keep our air, keep our
right. So
in the right condition.
Anil Agarwal was the OG as far as the drill baby drill slogan was concerned, as he's reminding us. He's been saying that for the last 25 years. But Mr. Agarwal, before I let you go, you know, that $100 billion aspiration that you have for each of these businesses, by when do you hope you'll be able to grow them to that size?
No, if you look at our, we will be $40 billion revenue in 3 to 4 years time. $40 billion, we don't work on the 35% margin. It's a phenomenal business. It's for the nation. We have nothing. 75% of my personal wealth has been pledged for giving back. This company is not going to run by a family. This company is going to run by top professional, top mind for the country on the having the best of governance. And we have to go through this because India has not seen this kind of ventures, this kind of development, and the trust is building. The government is trusting us, and this is the country for the entrepreneur. You're looking Anil Agarwal who started, but like me, better mind than me, there are thousands of other entrepreneurs. And this is the first time I can see that the government is trusting them, the institutions are trusting them, and they're coming forward. So I'm very bullish on India, and I'm looking forward that government is giving a very focus on below the ground. Self-certification is very important in India. If you go to, you take income tax self-certification, excise self-certification, why all the approval can't be self-certified? The production is all about the production. And this is what we are looking at. For me, this is one example, but many more Vedanta, many more Anil Agarwal to come. And to create aluminium, zinc, we are anything we have touched, we are world class. My focus is in oil and gas. My aim is time to come, I must produce 1 million barrel of oil. I've gone to Houston, invited everybody. And if you look at my Houston speech, what I talk about is a phenomenon. That's the country where 85% of oil and gas we are importing. This is a country we have a full of
Mr. Agarwal, we've just seen a big legislative change come in as far as the oil and gas sector is concerned, with the bill going through Parliament. You know, you talk about the aspiration of being able to produce 1 million barrels. Does that legislative change open up the game, so to speak, for a company like yours? And how close are you to being able to fulfill this aspiration that you have?
You know, this bill, what has passed, it is the most attractive place in India to come and invest and drill, baby, drill. I have seen it is a benefit to my country. I explained in detail in Houston to all the oil majors, and they all said, is it true? Is it true? Is it true? And I said, look, they have also said they are not going to fiddle around or changing the rule. That also passed into the parliament bill. So this is a country which need the hydrocarbon. Please come and invest. And everybody was coming with me, wanted to. India need at least 2,000 rigs running into India, offshore, onshore, and that will create massive job. Thousands of new industry will come. We can create another Houston in India, and India has a phenomenal. I'm a geologist. I know the kind of topography. They had the topography of my field. And they looked at all my field and told me, you should aim for 1 million barrel. And I couldn't believe it. And with this regulation, I must congratulate the government and especially the oil ministry, what they have done for India.
Well, the aspiration of creating another Houston right here in India, and you believe that that is possible now with the change in legislation that provides certainty and more predictability for the oil and gas sector here in India. Drill, baby, drill. That's the word coming in from Anil Agarwal there as he speaks to us about Vedanta's demerger plans and, of course, being able to unlock value across each of those businesses. Mr. Agarwal, always a pleasure. Appreciate you joining us here on the record on CNBC-TV18. We wish you the very best of luck with your plans. We will take a break here. There's a lot more coming up. Don't go anywhere. We're back in a moment with more.